And I was so happy to be there, and I was like just giving it my all, and I was just so heartbroken when the video was released because it made me feel like I wasn't good enough. I understand, like Logan has such a huge following and he's literally a professional wrestler, and that, like, I get it, but it just made me feel like that you're not enough. And it's...
So, recently we had Rosanna appear on the Trisha Paytas podcast, and she unveiled quite a lot about her life and her experiences in the entertainment industry. Now, I was listening to this whole podcast, and it was actually quite interesting to get an eye behind the scenes of what it's like being on some sets like Nickelodeon, Disney, reality TV, and even appearing on one of my favourite TV shows, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. But unfortunately, in all of these experiences described, she gave examples of overseers being basically uncaring, of people on set, not caring for their well-being, not caring for their mental health, not looking after them, all this kind of stuff, and even some quote-unquote misogynistic, sexist behavior. And Rosanna, giving her perspective, has basically lumped Mr. Beast together with these experiences, which has come as a shock to me, and I'm not even sure if Mr. Beast is going to respond to this, but what actually has happened is quite damning, to be honest. Now, the allegations against Mr. Beast is that we have Rosanna here, who has lots of accolades, a lot of subscribers, who has been on the platform for a very long time, and a very favoured act by many people on this website. Very unnotorious, doesn't get into any beef or drama. So to have someone like Rosanna here speak out about Mr. Beast, it comes with a lot of validity from this person. Now, Rosanna appeared in multiple Mr. Beast videos, like $1 million hide and seek, then in another game show-esque video that she did with Mr. Beast. Now, in the hide and seek video, Rosanna complains that she was misrepresented in the final draft of this video being released. In this video, we had the likes of Larry, Logan Paul, Matt Pat, and many other YouTubers, which Rosanna, I think, was one of the only women on there. Now, Rosanna was pumped up to win this competition, of course, as she was told that this whole competition, it was like a friendly thing, but, you don't play to lose at the end of the day. She was told that this whole video, it's all going to charity. This is on Mr. Beast's end. It's all going to charity. It doesn't matter who wins. And she was given the impression that this is like a YouTuber giving prompts to other creators. So she goes through this competition, hides very well, and then basically ends up doing very well in this hide and seek. However, there were some rules that were established by the keepers of the stadium where they were basically telling people you're not allowed to go in certain areas that are sort of just obviously out of bounds. Don't go into air vents, don't climb over walls, all this kind of stuff, yada yada yada. Now, Rosanna kept to the rules because she didn't want to get anyone fined or endanger anyone's safety or cause damages to the stadium. And we have Larry here, who basically climbed up into the vents, I believe. He climbed up into the vents, and we had loads of misdemeanors from the top three, well, the alleged top three, and we had Larry go up into the vents and he fell asleep or something like this, and he forgot to come down, and basically he didn't switch his position when Mr. Beast asked everyone to rotate from their hiding positions, but no one found him. So Mr. Beast basically edited the whole competition where Rosanna got caught out while switching to her new position and Larry didn't switch at all. And Mr. Beast edited the whole competition to make it look like the final three people were Larry, Logan Paul, and Zach King. And according to Rosanna here, the final three people were actually Zach, Quackity, and herself. Yo guys, if you're enjoying this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for 1,000 subscribers. Thank you for all the support. I really do appreciate it. So yeah, let's just get right back into the video, shall we? For the entire duration of filming, we all wore earpieces connected to walkie-talkies. They would announce in our ears when someone had been found and when we had to move hiding spots. If you didn't move, you were immediately disqualified. While I was hiding, they announced that they had found Logan Paul. I couldn't believe I outlasted him. He's a fierce competitor. It was really getting late. We filmed over 24 hours straight, and they eventually offered me money to come out of hiding and quit. I declined. I'd been counting the eliminations, and I was currently in 4th place, with Larry, Quackity, Zach, and myself still remaining. Jimmy asked us to move hiding spots again to the side of the stadium with mannequins. It was at this time I was found in transition to my next hiding spot. When Jimmy found me, he brought me to the field with the others that had also been found. I thought I had placed 4, however Larry had fallen asleep and hadn't moved in a long time, so he was disqualified. This meant I got 3rd place. When I arrived on the field, I saw Matt Pat there and Logan there. They were the seekers now. Jimmy said he was going to look for Zach, and I asked if anyone wanted him. I offered to help out, but he said he wanted to take Logan instead. So I hung back, looking for Zach in a different location with Matt Pat. I placed third, Quackity placed second, Zach placed first. That is what actually happened. Despite Jimmy editing the only female in the top 3, I was proud of what I had achieved. I followed the rules of the game, gave it my all, had fun, and never gave up. They can't take that away from me. Now, she makes a great point there. Logan Paul is a literal athlete, and to have someone who wanted to win the competition, also specifically because it would be good to have a woman win the competition, and the fact that a woman did come in the top 3, some might even argue on a technicality won the whole thing. The fact that Jimmy would edit her out and take her out of that spot just to create a better video, even though the video is supposed to be lighthearted and all this kind of stuff, I don't know. The reasonings for MrBeast doing this are just so unclear to me. But knowing what I do about MrBeast, he's very driven. He's got a very analytical brain. And I feel like what's apparent in his interviews and stuff is that he's very driven to make a video perform well. You know what I mean? Quote unquote well. And maybe as a result of his twisted algorithmic lab experiments, in his brain, he might have had a very, very severe lapse in judgment and thought, right, let me change this because this person's more popular than this, and the person's trending, so this makes the video do well, yada yada yada, and thus reordering the timeline of events to create a more captivating story. Unfortunately, given Rosanna, where she gives all of her past experiences being in the industry in this specific podcast, it just echoes that same sort of sentiment, that same sort of executive producer pulling too many strings, mistreating people, like whether it's because of their gender or whether it's to make more money. It's still unfair. Whatever this is, and why Jimmy has done this, I have no idea. And in fact, Larry was even suspected by Matt Pat, according to Rosanna in this podcast, to have actually broken the stadium, and there was like dust marks everywhere. It's actually crazy. And if we're talking like this is like an official sort of charity competition event where there's 1 million at stake, you expect it to be official. And at the end of the day, if like you wouldn't want something airing on your TV where you've got a game show and you have women participating and you just cut out all the women, like, because they've done well. It's very sad, actually, that this has happened. So yeah, no, I agree with Trisha. Actually keeping Rosanna's win in this video would have made a video with much more of a message to be given to people. But with MrBeast's analytical algorithm brain, he decided to make the very miseducated choice of fabricating events. You know, which obviously has not gone well for him. Maybe he should be more real. And even more unfortunate is the fact that she felt like she couldn't even speak out about this. Like, she felt that she couldn't say anything publicly for a very long time because of the just massive barrage of MrBeast fans. And that is very valid. But what makes this worse for me, that I personally heard when she was talking about this, is that she's already facing judgment for this in her private life for a video that happened so long ago and it wasn't even her fault, that she did well in. It just feels like an example of just YouTube misogyny. It feels like MrBeast here is just, you know, really digging himself a deep hole just by making a very silly decision to mess with the timeline of events in the first place. If he didn't muddle with it because he thinks it's going to perform better, but to be honest, it does have 81 million views, so maybe he does know a thing or two about the YouTube algorithm. But this, you know, it's just like, at what point do you remember your morals, MrBeast? It's not all about the clicks, okay? Sometimes it can be. Another heartbreaking thing is that she was actually proud to go up against a genuine athlete like Logan Paul and do so well. And what's also admirable is that she sees the business side. She keeps saying like, oh, I understand it, like they've got the more following. She understands the business side, which makes this even more heartbreaking because she did not expect this from a fellow content creator. You don't really expect this from other people on YouTube. You expect it from TV execs. You expect it from film sets. But yeah, she said in all her career, in all those examples, she's never had it feel like a boys club. But in the MrBeast filming environment, that's what it did feel like, a boys club, which this is just, it just isn't good. It isn't good. And I feel like, you know, some standards need to be changed. It's very sad and upsetting for her, and I feel for her personally. That's the thing that really sells me on this, on like, yeah, at the end of the day, her visceral and emotional response to all of this, and the fact she waited so long to do it, and her record is so squeaky clean. She's very valid in all of her things that she's saying, and we shouldn't even be scrutinizing anyone like that anyway, putting them under a magnifying scope because they've said something about a film set they were on. But I'm just saying, I believe this telling of events. And, you know, at the end of the day, Jimmy has some answering to do for what Mr. Beast has done. For me, it's like, how can you have someone go through a competition fairly that's supposedly for charity, and it doesn't matter who wins, you create this go team environment, and then you have this lovely lady, Rosanna, just like, but I came third, I did it, why am I even not on the leaderboard? That's insane, Mr. Beast. It's insane. I'd be annoyed. And maybe this has happened to other people, you know, but they just can't speak up. And we finally got Rosanna, who's got a clean record, a following, and hopefully the justice that she deserves comes from this. She, I don't know, gets an apology, maybe, Mr. Beast? This could have major impacts on Mr. Beast's reputation, to be honest. I did not expect to unpack this news today. I was listening to this account of events. I was, you know, for the first time actually listening to Rosanna in long form content like this. And it's very disheartening to see someone who's so experienced in the entertainment industry come across a YouTuber and have this happen to them. And you just don't, you wouldn't expect it. Because in all of Mr. Beast's videos, he's just like, I just keep it so real, man. You know, I just like, I give away all this money to these people, man. And I just treat everyone so well, man. That's my Mr. Beast impression. Okay, so here let's just go into a live reaction of what was said about Mr. Beast. And we can just sort of break it down, you know, intermittently, and just give you a full picture of the story instead of just my words covering it. Because context is king.
And the same thing kind of, I felt like maybe happened on Mr. Beast. Like, that was weird too.
So this is interesting. So you were on 3 of Mr. Beast Challenge, which is like, you're kind of that girl that gets involved in all these shows. Like, you were on Escape the Night twice. You're doing all these shows. You're friends with Joey, so that makes sense. Are you friends with Mr. Beast? And he's just like, hey, you want to come do this show? Or how does that work?
We started talking a little bit, and I really am someone who gets really excited about other creators. I get excited for people. I get excited for friends. I get excited for, and he was just blowing up, and he was making all this really cool content. A lot of for philanthropy work.
And that's the main thing that people sort of see about Mr. Beast. It's like, you know, he's giving out so much money, doing all this philanthropy and making stuff happen, and he's just doing it. He's doing it. And, you know, I feel like in order to get to that point, you have to cut a few corners, and you have to shed a few emotions, and you have to become some sort of robotic mind to become one with this algorithm, for sure.
Oh, wow. Those 2 games, and I had a blast. I had so much fun. And then when I got invited to do the 3rd one, it was at the SoFi Stadium, so it was the first one in person. And we did like a major hide and seek and challenge game, and it was over 24 hours. We were up for, I think I was up over 30 hours straight. Wow. I didn't sleep.
Yeah, I think the challenge was around 24, but you know, you wake up before you're there, so
yeah,
you were all up for longer.
Oh my God, and straight?
Yeah, and I'm just confused what happened there. Again, I didn't get involved in any of the drama.
So that's a very long time to be filming a video. If you don't know, recording videos or being on set like that with like a bunch of film crew and all that kind of stuff, it's very exhausting. Like, there's not really many opportunities to go for a break, to wind down, to get away from people, to really even settle down, because you're always moving, you're always changing things, you're always called to do things, and, you know, all this kind of stuff. It's a lot of work. And in this, Rosanna did this for free, I think, as well, which is even more upsetting.
And they edited me out like midway through the video. The thing that I didn't understand, and I'm still confused today, and it hurt my feelings, is like when Mr. Beast talks about these creator games and challenges, he said, you know, it's all in good fun. Like, audience, don't take it too serious. All of the money that's won is donated. Mm-hmm. You know, it's given away. So it's, we can just have some fun with it. And I was like, yeah, that's really cool. And so when it aired, when the video came out, my friends were like, what happened?
Really? Because you weren't in it.
They had me get eliminated like somewhere in the middle, and I was really proud of myself because I'm not mean and competitive, you know. I just go out there and do my best, and I actually beat other creators who are a lot of male creators who are super competitive. They're very talented. Like, these are big creators. And so I was proud of myself that I had accomplished that. And they edited me out somewhere in the middle when really I was top 3.
Wait,
and
what?
In the
How?
edit, they have like, okay, top 3 is Larry and Logan Paul and Zach King. They weren't top 3. I beat Logan Paul.
What?
Yeah.
So who were the top 3 with you?
So it was really interesting. So when we did challenges, cut it down to I think 10 of us or something.
Yeah,
and
so
then
they did it all in one day, but he
Wow, she won. She actually won the thing, and Mr. Beast edited, I guess, over 24 hours of footage to then edit out Rosanna's win. That's so upsetting.
So people are exhausted, like hour 23, 24, 25,
Damn.
26. Some people are
Yeah.
like, I'm leaving. I'm literally
just
gonna leave.
quit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So some people left, but Ro is very like, I agreed to do it. I'm gonna help you. And anytime we film with our friends, we do it for free. Like, she goes on Try Guys all the time.
Yeah.
And we're like, don't even talk to us about money. We're not gonna do it. We just want to
Yeah.
support. And so it's the same thing with that.
Wow, there you have it. She did it for free. 24 hours of hiding, literally. And then imagine you think you've won this whole event. You think you've won it, or you think you've done better than like everyone else. And you see that, you know, you're one of the only women that's made it to this final round of this thing. And you see in the edit, 1, 2, and 3 are all men. Now, I can't even put myself in a woman's shoes and like understand what that kind of feeling is like, but I can imagine it's awful, horrible. And she's such a sweetheart that like she just didn't talk out about it, and she did this for free. Oh, it's mad.
Till it's done.
You guys are punctual, professional. You guys show up to everything. Like, your own sets are like that. You're very that person.
love being on set and
Yeah.
I love creating things. So I'm just such a supporter, and I was so happy to be there, and I was like just giving it my all, and I was just so heartbroken when the video was released because it made me feel like I wasn't good enough. I understand, you know, like Logan has such a huge following, and he's literally a professional wrestler, and that, like, I get it, but it just made me feel like that you're not enough. And it's
And there you have it, man. It's like at the end of the day, this is like done more than, you know, harm someone's career or like, you know, like stealing top spot from like some male creator. You've harmed someone's self-esteem here, you know, especially like really bad. This is like really, really bad for someone to do to someone else. And because like there's so much that goes into a video and like so much attention to detail, this had to go through more people than just Jimmy. But the fact that Jimmy allowed this to happen on his own channel and, you know, watched the edit through and thought, yeah, let's just cut Rosanna out. It really, it's sad, and it's not what you expect from Mr. Beast, but it is what you expect from someone who's trying to run a production that wants as many views, clicks, and money as possible. But yeah, hey ho, what can you say? Well guys, if you've enjoyed this video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Again, thank you so much for 1,000 subscribers. Please be sure to share the channel with anyone that you think might enjoy us over here. Thank you for joining this little strand of the weird world of the web that we're on. We'll see you guys on the other side. Peace.